everybody, welcome back. This week's episode of Mint Out of the Box. I'm your host, Godfather of Toys, a J-Bomb. Coming to you a little bit late this week. We've had severe weather here in California. Usually this time of year, I'm gearing up for my spring training trip, and it's usually pretty warm in here. But today is freezing because it snowed here in Southern California, and it doesn't snow in Southern California. And much like that song, it doesn't rain in Southern California. It don't really snow here either. But it's super cold. So I was just going to share this with you today. This was actually a sponsored episode. The show is sponsored by Mr. Ozzy Gallardo. Ozzy, this goes out to you. You wanted Transfomers, you got it. So I was out one night with the lovely one producer, Steph, and we saw a case that said Transformers. We opened up and bam, found this Starscream from Transformers the movie.
Who opened it up?
Every time you hear a sarcastic comment from off screen, it is the lovely one, my wife, my life. Producer Steph, you are the one that will take a set of keys and go at it on a case, on a pallet, at any store we're at. Am I accurate in that description?
You are accurate.
So she looked for this, and full disclosure, I had a few Transformers when I was a kid. They were kind of more pricey, and
compared to what we paid for this.
No. But the Transformers cartoon I thought was really, really cool, and I got this because I'm collecting everything from Transformers the movie. As you can see, Transformers movie. The thing I could really never get behind with Transformers, I had GoBots. I was really into GoBots because GoBots, when they turned into robots, they look like robots, and when they turn into vehicles, look like vehicles.
What are GoBots?
That's another show for another day.
A warmer day?
Yeah, but the Transformers, they look cool as the actual vehicle, but they just lost me when it came to the robot. I mean, I think Optimus Prime, which I had, was probably the best looking robot version when he turned into a robot, but I just could never get into it. But the cartoon was way better than the GoBots cartoon. So.
Oh my god, I need to look up GoBots.
GoBots were kind of like Transformers, but smaller, and they look like Hot Wheels.
Okay.
So we're gonna open this up because, like I said, I'm collecting everything from the. They're releasing a lot of vintage from stuff from Transformers the movie. I really love the movie. That's where they introduced Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime. That's one of my favorite characters. So. This is part of the new Hasbro No Plastics. The GoBots. As producer Steph is looking up GoBots.
I'd like to point out that it was on air in 1984.
Yes, and producer Steph was either a zygote or barely in diapers in certain parts of 1984. I was a young lad of 10. So, as you see, the new Hasbro, no plastic, no nothing, no window.
But again, that bothers me so much with the no window. Like, how do you know what you're getting?
Well, if your wife goes inside the case and takes it fresh out of the case, I guess you could always be guaranteed that you're going to get what you want.
Well, that is true. Point taken.
So, here's all the parts. And like I said,
Don't throw them away.
This was the one thing that I really didn't... Like I said, this is, pretty almost... Once you take the arms out, the robot version, I'm going to... That's another thing. I'm not really good. I got a couple Transformers I've opened up that I just left alone because I can't. I actually had to go on YouTube one time to figure out how to transform one of my Hot Rod figures.
Didn't you get some in your stocking this year for Christmas?
Yeah, but it didn't transform.
Okay.
It was the Spike figure from Transformers the movie. So once this is all together, like I said, it's pretty much a direct Like I said, you take all this stuff off and turn him into Starscream. Starscream was kind of the number 2 bad guy on the cartoon. He got killed in the movie, became another character. But you put on all the stuff, you snap on the hands and all that. I'm not going to do all that here today because I don't want to bore you with all that part. But from what I remember my good buddy, the Belt Doctor, Candyman Chris, he had I think it was Thunder Crack or Thunder Whip or something.
Thunder Crack.
The purple jet. So this feels kind of like the same. I mean, it's got some metal parts. So it's well made. But like I said, I want to mix it up a little bit, do a Transformers thing. So you put this out, then you snap the hands on. I always thought that, like I said, the GoBots they look more like robots when they turned into robots than the early Transformers. Some of the newer Transformers, man, like they've really bridged that gap with some of the newer stuff. But I guess they're trying to go for the vintage feel here, so I understand what they're going for, and I appreciate that because I'm all about the vintage toys. I'm all about, like, a lot of people collect vintage, a lot of people collect new. I like to collect new vintage or vintage remakes. So like I said, this is out there. It's $33 at Walmart. I think it's a Walmart exclusive. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it is, but I've only seen it at Walmart, so it's out there if you'd like to get it, along with a lot of other characters from the Transformers movie, which is a great movie. I suggest if you haven't seen it, check it out. If you have seen it, revisit it. It's a really good movie. There's a lot. It's funny if you go on YouTube and you look up at the Sunbow cartoons that they made into movies. I think it was Rainbow Bright, G.I. Joe, and Transformers.
I like Rainbow Bright.
Hey, there we go. Transformers is the only one that actually got a major release, and because of the controversies in Transformers, it kind of made the G.I. Joe movie, A, not go to the theaters, and B, not kill off some of the major, because Duke was supposed to die in the G.I. Joe movie, but because they killed off Optimus Prime and the people at Hasbro were kind of pissed off, so they didn't like that much, so that got changed, and the G.I. Joe movie didn't get released in theaters. It was on TV. The G.I. Joe movie is kind of horrible, and it kind of took G.I. Joe in a weird direction with the Cobra Law stuff. I don't want to get into that. But like I said, here's the Starscream. I would transform it, but like I just told you, I'm not that great at it. So even the 11-year-old me wasn't that great at it. So I'll take some pictures when it's all put together and stuff, and producer Steph will put it into the show. So, and speaking of shows, last Friday night, we traveled to Las Vegas to a horror convention where I got to meet one of my heroes of wrestling, Jake the Snake Roberts.
A couple times.
Yes, and we got a bunch of stuff autographed, and we'll show you a couple of those pictures right here, right now.
So what do you think of Days of the Dead?
It had the kind of look and feel of the 90s shows I always lament about when I talk about these shows. It seemed a lot more old school, a lot more flea market-esque.
Swap meet.
Yeah, and a lot more...
Drinking.
Yeah. Producer Steph almost got swept away and ran off with another man.
Negative.
I almost had to do the show alone. But a lot of the celebrities just sitting at the tables, chilling.
No lines.
Yeah, kind of like you see like when they kind of make fun of this scene in movies. Because it seems like the ones we've gone to, there have been long lines for people. But this is Vegas. People usually don't come here for this. I mean, outside of the porn convention, a lot of people don't come here for this stuff. They come for everything else. There's people like The Godfather that drove from LA to here, and now I'm heading back home. So
we've been up here for 2.5 hours?
Yeah, enough to eat dinner, hit the show, get some autographs, and head home.
I think she ate dinner today.
And coming up this week, I get to meet one of my all-time idols.
I'm right here.
I'm a huge baseball fan, and you can't see it because it's over there, but Ricky Henderson was one of the people I idolized and tried to be like in baseball. And I finally get a chance. I've met him on a couple occasions in passing, but now I actually get to sit down and get some stuff autographed and add to my collection. So I'm looking forward to it. Producer Steph facilitated this with her nursery earnings, and then I kicked in another bunch of money so I can get some more stuff signed. So then next week we will be in Las Vegas at the National Toy Show. So we hope to see you guys out there. If any of my fans out there want to come up.
We're going to the toy show with no kids.
With no kids. So me and producer Steph will be the kidless couple walking around with the Mint Out of the Box t-shirts. If you see us, come say hi. You can take a picture of me, the Godfather Toys. You can take a picture next to producer Steph's amazing rack. It's going to be a good time for all. And Sergeant Slaughter is going to be there, so I'm looking forward to seeing Sergeant Slaughter. So with that, I'm going to cut it short because I'm getting frostbite in my genitals as I sit here and film the show. So have a tremendous night. Sorry the show was late. We'll try to be back to schedule next week, but we're having some more severe weather, so I don't know. But until then, have a great time. Enjoy these pictures of me and Jake Snake Roberts.